What's up, everybody? It's your boy Tino here, and today we are here today for another T.T.W episode, as we're going to talk to you about all the stuff that's been going down, all the pay-per-views, and all the news and notes that's been going down since last time we talked in the WWE. Talk about what's going down last night on SmackDown, what is going to be happening in that Bad Blood, what will be happening on Raw, and everything else. So, let's not waste no time. Let's get to the chat. Let's see how you guys are doing. And then we'll get to the rest of it. And then we'll get going. So appreciate all you guys stopping by. But we got our guy J-Dog in the house. What's up, Jaders? What's up, Hassan? Appreciate you, Hassan, hanging out for a little bit. We got Justin in the house. What's up, Justin? And Jaders says, hope to get good views today because this was my idea to go live at 7. Let's see if there's people in there here because they usually for Monday night. Yeah, you're right. So Monday night, I know it, or Saturday night. I know it is a Saturday, so we may not get too many people, but that's okay, guys. I do appreciate whoever does check this out live. Appreciate you. And if you are watching on delay or if you're watching in and on another day, I appreciate you checking it out. We got Tori in the house. What's up, Tori? So let's get to it. Let's talk about everything, and then we will continue and just have a good episode. So how you guys been? How's your Saturday going? And let's get it started, and let's talk about the logo for Friday Night SmackDown. Before we do it, let's see what you guys, and I want to see what you guys think about this brand new logo that we have for Friday Night SmackDown. Let me hear it, and I want to see in the chat what you guys rate it. Let me know what you guys think about it, and let me know how you guys feel just in general about this new logo, because in my opinion, it's going to grow on me little by little, day by day. And I think that it's going to be really good. And I'm really excited to see where this new SmackDown goes. And SmackDown last night was a really good show with what we saw, everything happening, Roman returning, the tag team match being set up, us looking like we're probably getting War Games with them in and at War Games in Vancouver in November. So it's exciting to see these guys and see everything happen. So I'm ready for it. So SmackDown logo, guys. What do you guys think about it? And what would you guys rate this logo out of 10? Netflix. We're gonna have Raw going to Netflix as SmackDown made its debut on USA last night. But Hulu will no longer be televising, and they will no longer be having Raw or SmackDowns on Hulu. So if you use Hulu to watch Raw or SmackDown, sadly, you will not be able to do that no more. And sadly, it just is going away. So I appreciate you guys coming here, hanging out. Or I don't know why I said that again, but my bad. So SmackDown and Raw leaving Hulu. So if you have Hulu, you have to find a new way to watch Raw and SmackDowns. I do believe that they're going to go on Netflix. So I'm assuming a lot of us have Netflix. So I think that, and if you don't, then we got to get your Netflix somehow because you got to watch the show. But I think that it should be interesting. I've honestly never used it to watch Raw or SmackDown. But if you have, sorry, but we got to figure out a new way. So speaking of Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and everything else like that, guys, starting October 1st, we have heard, and the rumors are that the NXT will, and the NXT superstars and the NXT landscape will be changing, as they will no longer be performing in the Performance Center weekly, and they will be going to weekly shows, and they will be going to weekly arenas like Raw and SmackDown. So we're talking about Raw and SmackDown going to Netflix and Hulu. We got NXT on the CW in about 2 weeks. And it looks like it's not going to only be Chicago and St. Louis. So if you live in somewhere else and if you live in a different state, you very well have an opportunity to go and see NXT live. I'm so excited to see NXT live October 1st, being in the crowd, being at the arena. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be so cool. And I'm just so excited to see it all go down. So Shawn Michaels going to be cooking, and I cannot wait to see what NXT has in store for us. So we have that. I say so too much, but let's get to the next thing. And sadly, we have some injury news on our hands as we have Kiana James. If you guys remember, Kiana James was debuting, and she debuted on Raw. She got drafted to Raw in the draft, and we really haven't seen too much of her as of late. Well, it looks like Kiana James has been injured, and that is why she is not being seen on TV no more. And apparently they did have a storyline with her possibly having something to do with Adam Pearce, and maybe she was going to be like a Chelsea Green. I saw something where they said that she was going to flirt with Adam Pearce or something. I don't really know if that was true or not, but Adam Pearce, Kiana James, I think Kiana will be fine. I think, and let's hope Kiana gets better as soon as possible. And I think that she will, because Kiana was good in NXT. She was starting to do really good things. She was starting to make a name for herself. And I think that that is somebody that, given a little bit of time and given a little bit of, like, love and attention and, like, her character and everything, I think Kiana James can be a very big superstar. So let's hope Kiana James gets well. Let's not see her get injured again. And let's see these women, and let's see some of these people get healthy, because all these injuries to these women, guys, is absolutely awful. And it sucks that we're even having to talk about it, and we're even having to do it, because it sucks that this is where we are right now. So, Kiana James, Adam Pearce, we'll see what happens when she gets back, but get well soon, Kiana James. We talked a little bit about SmackDown last night, guys, a little when we just talked about the logo. Like I said, we saw Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa in the steel cage. We saw Bayley and Nia Jax. We saw Tiffany Stratton. We saw all the superstars in SmackDown. But we also saw some legends that I didn't know we would see on TV. And here they are, guys. We saw Farouk. We saw Bobby Roode, William Regal, Hala Hala Playa Teddy Long. We had Michael P.S. Hayes. And I said it, I don't know why Michael P.S. Hayes had to go in the crowd. We all know he's in the backstage in Gorilla every single week for Raw and SmackDowns. And then we had Queen Sharmell. We have Booker T. King Booker. Don't forget about King Booker. King Booker probably, and low-key, very well might be my favorite Booker T of all time. And then two people that I did not think we would see on the show. But, oh, it was so nice to see them. And it was the whole effing show it was. It was Rob Van Dam. And it was Excuse Me, Please, Miss Vicky Guerrero. Vicky Guerrero, excuse me, showed up. And as much as I disliked Vicky as a kid and growing up, I appreciate Vicky now. And it was nice to see her back home. And it was also nice to see her set up a dumpster match between Mia Yim Meacham and Chelsea Green, going down maybe, I think, on next week's SmackDown or a couple weeks. But Vicky Guerrero, guys, Rob Van Dam, Michael Hayes, a bunch of legends, and a bunch of people at the show last night. Damian Priest, they showed a lot of people. So it was a nice thing to see. And it was nice to see all these people at the show on Friday night, because, you know, there's been a lot of things that have happened, and it just sucks that this is what we have gotten to, where we don't really see it, and it's nice that we do see these people now, and that we are starting to see them go out and be able to make appearances again on Raw, SmackDown, whatever show it might be in the WWE. So, I said it again. You guys should count how many times I say so. Now that a few people have pointed it out, I realize how much I say it, and I need to work on it. But we're going to do that. Let's get to the next thing, though. And that is with Drew McIntyre opening up a little bit about CM Punk and about their relationship outside of their storyline. So, or no, that's Andrade. First, okay, you know what? Let's talk about Andrade and LA Knight, because we will talk about CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, but let's talk about Andrade and LA Knight first, because Andrade and Carmelo Hayes put on one hell of a 5 series matches where they tied it, and Andrade ended up being able to win the match last night, and Andrade ended up being the one to defeat Carmelo and win that series. So it looks like we are now going to get Andrade to take on LA Knight. Yeah. But at what show is this going to happen at? My prediction, I'm going to assume that it happens at possibly Bad Blood, but they could also save it for like a random Friday Night SmackDown. So we will have to see. It was not made official for Bad Blood, but it looks like in the future and in some sort of time, very soon, we'll be seeing Andrade and LA Knight in a U.S. Championship match. And I want to know from you guys in the comments, who do you guys think is going to win? And who do you guys think will go out and who will take all of their and everything that they need to do to go out and win this U.S. Championship? So, I did it again. It's just my thing now. I think that's, there are a few things that I say sometimes that it's so bad. It's so funny though, because it's so bad. Anyway, I need to find a new transition word other than so. But on to the next. Let's do that one. We got John Bradshaw Layfield, guys, showing up everywhere. We've seen him show up a few times to help Nick Nemeth now at this point. And John Bradshaw Layfield just living life and having one heck of a time doing it. So he came out to say arrive, clothesline, leave. So. The counter's got to be at like 30 now. This should be the episode. So. John Layfield, Bradshaw, arrive, clothesline somebody, leave. So, oh my goodness. John Bradshaw Layfield doing his thing, having the best time of his life in his career, and just living it and doing everything that he wants to do at this time. You love to see it. John Bradshaw Layfield, I love to see him back. Even if it's not in WWE, just seeing him do something is really cool. Let's talk about Obafemi now. Because Obafemi, guys, is somebody that he won the breakout tournament. We really didn't know. Honestly, I didn't know too much about this guy. And I never really saw or thought of who he was until he got to NXT. We started watching his matches all the time. He became North American champion. And now it has hit 249 days as North American champion. In 20 days, yes, it's been 249. And then in 20 days, it will be the longest reigning North American champion in history. Obafemi, guys, doing his thing, rising through the NXT roster faster than many people may have thought that he would have. And he's just doing his thing every week. I don't know who's going to beat Oba. I don't know where and who is going to be his final opponent. I do believe that we will see Obafemi, bold prediction. I think Obafemi makes an appearance in the Royal Rumble match. Obafemi, I think we see him walk out Royal Rumble 2025, and I think he makes a surprise appearance. Keep that in mind. And let's see what happens when we hit January. Because Obafemi, guys, is a monster. Now, Bad Blood, guys, it's CM Punk. It's Drew McIntyre. It's inside hell in a cell. But first, we got to talk about, as I said, what Drew McIntyre had to say about the people the person that is CM Punk outside of their rivalry. And him being the person out of character. Drew McIntyre had this to say, breaking character about CM Punk. He's a true professional. There's a lot of real history between me and Punk, a lot of real feelings. I knew if we got the opportunity, we could tell the most compelling story of all, because no matter my feelings, I'm still a professional. He's still a true professional, and we've been given the platform to show the world what we can do creatively. Our creative team, obviously led by Triple H, is very much to go out there and you take the storylines as far as you can take it. You make people feel, you make people believe. And I've always said this about that. I've always said that The rivalries that are the best rivalries are the ones that they go and they fight each other left and right, and it feels real. We've seen a lot of times where we have storylines and people and them not liking each other and them not wanting to be with, like, not to do it, like, to compete against each other. And we've seen a lot of things happen to where it just did not work out. But the fact that these two can go out there and work together, do what they need to do to put on this story that we have all fell in love with, it's amazing to see. And I cannot wait to see where it goes. And I cannot wait to see what Bad Blood looks like, what Hell in the Cell looks like, and if that is the last match for them, as they will go at it again, as I said, at Bad Blood inside Hell in the Cell. So it's nice to see these guys get out of character sometimes, and it's nice to see them talk about how they feel about what is really going on behind the scenes. Because we know and we could say that it's real and this and that, but then again, you guys have to always remember that it is a storyline. These guys are all in and on at each other. And the reason why it works so well is because they make it feel so real. So, Punk and Drew doing their thing in the match, doing their thing in the ring with the bracelet. Maybe we see AJ Lee at Bad Blood. That'd be awesome. But you know who does want to make an appearance? At WrestleMania, apparently. And apparently she wants to make her debut sooner rather than later. And that is Tina Snow, the Stallion, Megan the Stallion. She wants to, and she says, I think it's finally time I make my debut. And then she put LOL. That would be me. I'd be like, I'm making my debut. LOL. Megan the Stallion, we've seen a lot of this. And Megan the Stallion, what if they bring in Megan and we see Jade Cargill, Megan the Stallion, and Bianca Belair take on Pure Fusion Collective, or we see them take on the ladies of SmackDown, and man, that would be crazy. Imagine Tiffany, Nia Jax, and somebody else against Megan, Bianca, and Jade Cargill in a 6-woman tag team match. Honestly, I wouldn't put it past them. I really, really would not put it past them to do that, because that totally would be something that they would totally go out and do. So, I said so again. We're just gonna leave all the so's in there for this week. But Megan making her debut possibly very soon, probably not. But it would be entertaining to see her show up on the show at one point. Megan, let's see you in the WWE ring. Now let's talk about what happened last night on SmackDown for a minute, guys. Because we saw Kevin Owens come out. We saw A-Town Down Under. And Kevin Owens needed to find a tag team partner. And we didn't know exactly who it was going to be until we found out exactly who it was going to be. And we always make predictions, and we always say who we think it is going to be. But WWE never loves to give us surprises, and they never love to do anything to where it is going to be something that we could be like, oh my God, this is the most amazing thing in the world. Because why would WWE ever want to do that for us? And why would they ever want to make us feel a certain way? Because that's not what WWE wants to do. They just want to make everything complicated. And they just want to make sure that we do not like anything. And yeah, so again. So. I'm just going to keep saying it now, so then the counter just keeps going up, because I never realized how much I said it until right this second. But here we are. Let's get into it, though. And let's talk about that last night. It's Ricky. He made his debut last night, and we want to see him against Tonga Loa. Or Tonga Loa. Let's see it happen. Let's see these guys go out. It's just so funny. He came out, and when he came out, I really, really thought for like a few seconds that these guys, this was real life, and this was really gonna happen. But obviously, we did not see that. We saw Kevin Owens stun him like he was Stone Cold. And then his real tag team partner came out. And it was Randy Orton, of course. We all could have predicted this. We all could have guessed it. And we all knew that this was going to happen. So, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton did what they had to do, and they defeated the two jabronis. But shout out to Ricky for making out and doing his debut and coming out looking like James Ellsworth, guys. He killed it. So shout out to him. Ricky, we want Ricky. We want Ricky. That's what I want to say about Ricky. But would you guys want to see this match? And do you guys think that we see Ricky again in the WWE on and in? I mean, hey, sometimes that's all it takes. Speaking of legends, though, not Ricky. Ricky a legend, but he ain't this legend, because this legend is somebody that has worked with the Bloodline. He worked with Umaga. He was one of the first ever announcers that I actually met. I met this man. I might have been like 7 years old. I was at like a local live event for wrestling at my like township, or like what do they call those? Like every thing has like a town, or like it was one of those things that like the town, or like the town halls of the town that I was in. And I met this man, and he just recently signed a WWE deal, Legends deal that is, and it is Armando Estrada. I remember having such a hard time saying his name as a kid. I would just say Estrada. So Armando Estrada has signed a Legends deal. Could we see him be a part of the Bloodline? He did work with Umaga, as I said, and I think it would be really cool to see him come back, maybe be a part of this story, maybe not. Maybe he goes out and just has some type of like whatever, or maybe you know what, maybe we never see him, but he is a legend. They can make a couple action figures. Maybe we see him at a Hall of Fame ceremony or two, and I think it would be nice to see Armando Estrada back home where he belongs. And hey, like I said, he did work with Umaga, so why not bring him back and maybe team him up with Jacob, Solo? I think that would be perfect. So what do you guys think about Armando Estrada coming back and teaming up with the Bloodline? Now let's talk about some exciting news, not with with wrestling, but really not about wrestling. But shout out to Miss Lyra Valkyra on getting engaged. Her husband, her fiance, went out, made a great and a beautiful way to ask her to marry her. She said yes. And now Lyra Valkyra, I'm sorry, fellows, but she's off the market, and now she's getting married. So, good for them. Shout out to her. It's always nice to see people find love and everything else like that. I'm Cupid over here. So, Lyra Valkyra getting engaged on and in the future. So, shout out to her, guys. You got to give credit to where it's due. Lyra, she's been one of the few people. Yes, she's been in NXT a lot recently, but she's one of the few people that have went to Raw and SmackDown, especially as of late too. And she has actually done a few things. She's done a lot. She's competed with a lot of superstars. So shout out to Lyra for doing what she does and just continuing to be her. So let's continue to say so. I think I've said it now like 30 times this episode. It's so funny. The fact though that I'm pointing it out is what entertains me the most. So guys, I'm a disaster today, guys. Let's talk about the matches that are now being official and made for Bad Blood. So I'm not even doing it on purpose sometimes. I'm really not. It's just so funny. But we have 4 matches announced for Bad Blood, and these are it. We got We got Damian Priest taking on Finn Balor. A rivalry between two guys that just want to rip each other's heads off. We got Liv Morgan taking on Rhea Ripley. I wish this match would be inside Hell in the Cell, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen, and it looks like it's just going to be a singles match. And then the match that was made official last night was Cody Rhodes at Roman Reigns Who would have thought that we would see these two guys team up together when they just faced each other 6 months ago at WrestleMania? Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns teaming up to take on the team of Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa with Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa in the back. We'll have to see how this goes. A lot of shenanigans, I'm sure. I think we see the return of Jimmy if we do not see him by then. And I think it's going to be a great match. It's going to be a great show. But then we have one more as of now. We'll have to see how many more matches are added. You guys know the matches cards have only been about 4 to 5, 6 matches. So we'll have to see how many matches there are. But the other match, and it most likely will main event the show, it is CM Punk taking on Drew McIntyre inside of a steel cage. So let me give you, and let's talk about the predictions. As of this moment, I'm going to do a prediction show, obviously, as it gets closer. But as of this moment, my 4 winners of these matches are going to be Liv Morgan, Damian Priest, CM Punk, and the team of Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. Let me know what you guys got about those 4. What do you think about it? And what do you think will happen? And what other matches could we see happen at Bad Blood? Let me know in the comments. Obviously, this show, so many pay-per-views. There's been a lot going on the last few weeks, as you guys see on the thumbnail. We've had All Out. We've had All In. We've had No Mercy. We've had Bash in Berlin. And now we have had, and we are continuing, and now we're on the road to Bad Blood. There were 5 pay-per-views in a span of 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and it was a lot of stuff that was going down. So let's meet and let's show you, and let's talk about, and I want to pull up my thumbnail that I made, and I want to give you my overall rankings of these 4 pay-per-views. So, again, I'm just going to make a song called So. Let's rank these 4 pay-per-views. At number 4, I'm going to put All In London. It was a good show, but it was not my favorite out of the 4. Number 3, let's put No Mercy. Number 3, No Mercy. I enjoyed NXT. Joe Hendry and Ethan Page did their thing. It was a great show, and as usual, NXT always does put on a good show. At number 2, let's put Bash in Berlin, as we had a good match. We had the strap match. We had some other things go down, and it was just one of those things that, sometimes these match cards hit, and sometimes they don't. And it wasn't a bad pay-per-view. It just, it wasn't like, oh my God, this is the greatest pay-per-view of all time. It was a really good pay-per-view. But at number 1, in Chicago, All Out, guys, that's my favorite. Not because it was in Chicago, but that steel cage match was great. The Chicago street fight was great with Willow and Chris Statlander. A lot of the matches on that card really flew a lot better. They made it the show just flew by, and I just really enjoyed it. So out of the 4 pay-per-views and the 4 PLEs that we've had in the last 3 weeks, so it wasn't 5, it was 4 out of the last 3 weeks. Yeah, those are my rankings. So let me know what you guys think, and what are your rankings for these 4 pay-per-views that we've seen happen in the last few weeks. Now, the last couple things I want to talk about is what will be going down this Monday on Raw, and some news that we got here for you guys on the channel. So, Monday, we're going to see Damian Priest take on Dominic Mysterio. We'll be here live for Monday Night Raw. And then we also got 2 big meaty men slapping that meat, as it's Braun Strowman taking on Big Bronson Reed. 2 big meaty men. They're going to go beat each other up. It's going to be a good time, and I cannot wait to see it go down. So I know this is a match Jadis, and I know this is a match others are really looking forward to, and I cannot wait to see what happens. And what else will go down on Raw? But we have some news, guys, because as of late, and as of everything that's been going down with NXT, it's been one of the best shows of the week. It's been one of the best shows going down, and it's just been all around a great show with the TNA Impact, with the superstars coming over. You don't know what's going to happen on a nightly basis, It's just been really good. And I've really enjoyed watching it. So we're bringing back the NXT live streams starting in October, the Tuesday after we go to Chicago in St. Louis, October 8th. We're back every Tuesday here on the channel to watch NXT live. See what goes down on the 2 hours, as it's officially all, and the WWE are all on USA as of right now. Not, or I shouldn't say that. Well, as of right now, they are. But at that time, it will be on the CW. And who knows? We may have more women, and we may have new women's champions, men's champions, tag champions, and who knows what else is going to happen. We got Miz TV, we got CM Punk, we got there's so many things going down in Chicago on NXT. It's going to be great. They trying to hit that 1 million view mark though, so we'll have to see if they can hit the 1 million and if they can do what they are hoping to do for this show. But that is everything, guys, that I have here for you. We've been here for a half hour chatting about all of it. So, as I just said so again for the 50th time on today's episode, my mom's going to watch this and be like, how many times are you going to say it now? But let's get to the chat. Let's see what you guys are saying. I hope you guys are enjoying this episode. As I said, guys, if you're watching this on delay, if you're watching this after, wherever you're watching this, I appreciate you coming and hanging out for a little bit of time. So, let's get to the chat. So. Guess it ain't ready. Guess it ain't really. No one's in here. Yeah, well, also it is a Saturday, so I know people are probably out doing their thing and everything, so I get that. I understand that, people may not have time to watch, but if you are, like I said, you're watching on delay, whenever you are watching, I do appreciate it. Tori said she's still here. And then we got Francisco. We got a new subscriber. What's up, Francisco? Maybe Francisco has already been subscribed for a while. But welcome to the chat, Francisco. I appreciate you stopping by and hanging out here with us. But, guys, that is all I got here for you today. So let's end the episode here. Like I said, I thought we figured I'd try it. I did have a few things to do earlier, so it was kind of nice that I did do it that way, so I was able to get that stuff done. But that's all I got here. So, one more time as I say it again. I never realized how much I said it until now. This is going to be the episode of So's. I like it. But we're not done yet here this week because we got one more show. And that is tomorrow night, guys. As it is 2 quarterbacks. One in year 1 and 1 in year 2. It's the Houston Texans. CJ Stroud and Stephon Diggs as they take on my Chicago Bears. Rome Odunze, DJ Moore, and Caleb Williams. It's Sunday Night Football, guys. We'll be waiting all night for Tino's Tom and all night for Sunday Night Football. Come and hang out tomorrow at 7:10 as we go live for the NFL games. Remember, we will not be live here for the first and the upcoming 2 weeks for football. As I told you guys for the schedule, when we did the schedule, we were going to be kind of cutting down the games. And if there were some games that just weren't that great, then we were going to. And just for the next couple weeks, I have a few things that I have to do on Sundays that we just not be able to be here live. So we'll be here live tomorrow. We'll be having the fantasy football show, but we will not be live here watching games back until week number 5. But I'll still be watching. I'll be letting you know how to help and set your fantasy lineups. And I'll make sure that I still let you know how much I love my Chicago Bears. But thank you for everybody. Yes, I do have a piano behind me. Isn't it cool? This way. This piano. Who wants the piano? I'll sell you the piano. But thank you all for coming and hanging out here. He's a master, Planet. Yes, I'm a master. That's all you need to know. I am a master. But the master has got to go now. But, guys, go do that stuff. Go do and follow all the social medias. Make sure you become a member. Leave a super chat. All that good stuff. Go get your merchandise on tinostime.com/bonfire. Make sure you go and follow the Southside Boys. Only 45 people watch the Southside Boys, but you could be one of them. And make sure you follow the Southside Boys here on Tino's Time. We got some news for the Southside Boys coming up as what will be going down next year for the channel and the future of the Southside Boys. But that's all we got. So, guys, go Go follow all the social medias. Go and do all that good stuff. And I will see you so tomorrow. And I'll see you so for Sunday Night Football. And tonight's MVP, before I forget, let's give it to Francisco for coming in, hanging out, and doing his thing. But guys, enjoy your Saturday night, and I'll see you so for Sunday Night Football. The episode of So's.